We're talking today with Ed Charles, freelance journalist and food blogger. You can check out his work at tomatom.com. Is that how you like to say it?
Yeah, although I call it tomato.
Tomato.
You say tomatom.
You say
Tomato.
I guess though the reason we're here today is to talk about navigating the minefield of eating and drinking options in Melbourne's laneways, and I've just done a podcast about Melbourne's laneways, and there's a baker's truckload of places to eat and drink down there, and so I wonder if you can help us, start to work out what's good, what's bad, what to look for, what not to look for.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the first thing is, I don't think I should be dictating where anyone goes. It's up to different people have different tastes,
Sure.
And there's so much to explore that, like you said,
and it's fun to explore too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost overwhelming.
It is.
Particularly for someone new to Melbourne or somebody who's never tried before. To actually sort of, work out where to start.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the best tour is to start off from Federation Square and go up Hosier Lane where there's Movida, and you just know something cool's happening down there when you see the street art.
Yeah.
And then when you go into the Spanish restaurant there where you can have a single anchovy for $4 or thinly shaved piece of ham for 20. I'm taking the piss a bit, but it's a very good place to eat, and it's a great place to start in the lane.
Yeah.
And from up there, you go out to Flinders Lane, and what I find exciting when I go out is just to sort of, if I find somewhere, to just go into a doorway and try it, because we're very lucky in Melbourne that there are very few places that are really bad.
Sure. Yeah. And the competition keeps the quality.
Yeah. And I think it's about the sort of Flinders Lane, Little Collins Street, Liverpool Street, all those little lanes there, Little Burke Street. It's just great.
Super.
So it's not very articulate.
No, that's all right. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah. I think the thing about it's not just about the little laneways. I think it's about a certain style of restaurant and eating.
Yeah.
So Sydney's about that very slick sort of place like the Icebergs on Bondi, where you've got a beautiful view and slick service and amazing designer accessories.
Yeah.
And there is that too in Melbourne. You've got it at the Com Kitchen, which is down a laneway. You've got it at places like Circa, owned by the same people. And you have that kind of thing on the St Kilda beach.
Yeah.
But what you're looking for, I think, is something like the Supper Club,
right,
or the European, which looks like they've been there forever. They've got that worn-in look, and they're just sort of cool. Even the wine store next door to the European, it's great. It's opposite Parliament. It's in you couldn't be more high-profile in location. But you go down, it's got a little room in the back where you can sit and eat on a communal table, and it's just great. It just seems cool. And that's the kind of thing to look for. There's of course the ethnic restaurants. You go down Little Burke Street, Chinese. There's great. There's things like there's places like Postmail Cafe. There's a whole series of great little Japanese places where you can get yakitori skewers or just great bowls of soup for a few dollars. You've got the places like Ginger Boy, which are very expensive, but I think there's places to discover beyond that.
Yeah.
And I'll spend my time going there or to Becco, but I like to go. I can't afford to spend that kind of money every night.
No, of course. Most people can't.
Actually, one thing I'd like to say is I'm amazed at I come from London where Japanese food was bad and expensive. I'm just amazed at the quality of Japanese food you get here, and they've sort of got into this laneway ethos themselves.
Yes.
There's Yu on Flinders Lane.
Yeah.
In the basement, shuns all publicity or media, doesn't even want a picture of inside the restaurant to appear in the food guides, and doesn't really want to be reviewed. Very cool, cult status. The people who originally started it sold it and now run Tempura Hajime, which
They'll be
is
very unhappy about.
Well, they would. It only has 12 seats and it's been booked out 3 months in advance.
Oh wow!
Because of a review in the Age, and it's just in an office block in South Melbourne.
Wow!
Just proving that location isn't everything, but it's hidden away. But there's you get down little Burke Street and these other places. There's so many of these little sushi places and little Japanese places that are just tiny and offer great value food. It's absolutely astonishing. It's one of the great pleasures to go out and have that simple food.
There are a few nice little places to drink too. I noticed in one of your articles you mentioned the Croft Institute, and we once again in the last podcast we took people visually up that little alleyway to get to the Croft Institute, and it's the drinks aren't that great, but it's a bit dingy and run down, but it's just such one of the coolest places. It
is. I mean, the drinks aren't the best to get, but it is a great place to go.
Yeah.
And there are so many of those places, aren't there? There's Container 8, there's oh God, I've forgotten the name of something. Murmur is a great favourite of mine, where it's above a boxing gym in an old warehouse.
Yeah.
Where they do better drinks. But there's so many bars. It's just difficult to keep track of what's happening. I find it's
changing all the time. Yeah.
They are. It's astonishing.
Yeah.
It's astonishing.
Ed, thank you very much for your insights into laneway eating and drinking. It's been enlightening to talk to you. Thank you very much. And once again, visit Ed at tomatom.com and come and have a look at us at citypod.com.au. Where you'll find maps of all these places that Ed's been talking about today.